All right. Well, welcome, everybody. It is your favorite Power Team podcast, and we are definitely in the building. If it's your first time rocking with us, we just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to us
Mm-hmm.
because we
Mm-hmm.
already know that you could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to be right here with us.
Us.
So, for those of you guys that don't know who we are, of course, we would like to formally go ahead and introduce ourselves. I go by the name of Kesha Kesh.
I'm your girl, J Money.
And it's your boy, Dr. Real, Mr. Motivational. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So, how was everybody's weekend? Y'all have a good
Wow.
weekend, Mother's Day weekend,
Yeah,
Yes, it
mine
was
was
good.
good.
celebrations.
Mine was
Yeah,
good.
good.
Did y'all enjoy
Yeah.
yourselves?
I
I got some
did. I
much
did.
needed relaxation.
Okay.
And that's exactly what it's about. It's whatever you want to do because it's
Mm-hmm.
it's your special
Hmm.
day.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So
Mm-hmm.
this is another thing too, y'all. So when we were out on Mother's Day, we started talking about some stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
it was very interesting to me. A lot of the conversations that we were having, it was very, very interesting to me. So I said, you know what? I was like, when we come on Wednesday night, I want to get some information from my brothers because again, I don't know everything. The ladies, my girls, we don't know everything. So we are
Hmm.
definitely excited to learn. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. We're excited
Yeah.
to learn. So let me just tell y'all this. This is what came up. And we were trying to figure it out. So we were talking about um all the different holidays that are that's on the calendar. We were talking about Valentine's Day. We were talking about Mother's Day. We were talking about Christmas. We were talking about Father's Day. All these special days. And
Mm-hmm.
some of the questions was, why is it that some men don't celebrate that? And you had some of the ladies, they were like, well, I didn't know men didn't celebrate it. Like, what you mean they don't celebrate it?
Hmm.
And so we got into the conversation, and everybody was like, well, yeah, they consider that to be man made holidays. And I was like, man made holidays? That's deep. Like, but
It is.
y'all know, I'm deep with it. So
Hmm.
I started thinking about some stuff. But before I get into what I'm thinking about, if you're on here, because I want to read your comments, if you're on here and you have been in this situation where you were either dating a guy or either you are currently dating a guy or married to someone and you've experienced when these holidays come about, that person have something specific to say in reasons of why he didn't really celebrate that with you or why he's never celebrated that day. Drop your comments right here, so we can read them. But I kind of want to get into that, a little bit. So we're gonna need your help with this one, Dr. Real. We want
Okay.
everybody's help. We want everybody to, because
I'm in
I
it.
want to make
Yes.
sure I'm saying it right. Because I don't want anyone to feel like I'm downplaying it. I really, truly want to understand it. Because I feel like it's one thing when you are truly just living your belief. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
your morals, your values of things, and that's
Hmm.
one thing. Now, when you just go to making up shit because you don't want to do it,
Do
now
it.
that's a whole nother
Absolutely.
thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm trying to understand. And anybody on here, if you're in a brotherhood or whatever the case may be, let's talk about it. Like, what type of situations have you been in, or if you're that person, like, give us a little bit of background around that if you can.
And for me, it's just some people, some men are cheap.
Oh,
Kind of,
True.
if you like,
Facts.
just being real. If you ever
Facts.
watched Everybody Hates Chris, there's an episode on there
Yes.
where the
Yes.
dad switched him to do from Christmas to Kwanzaa, so his gifts would be cheaper. There's some people that move around like that. They just would. If I don't participate, I ain't gotta pay. So now I don't do
Right.
Valentine's Day because you should show love every day.
That's
Nah,
right.
That's
I
what
don't
they
do
say.
Easter. I don't do Easter because it's a pagan holiday. Yeah, well, it is a pagan holiday. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't do Fourth of July because my people weren't free during that time. Maybe you know what I'm saying. People gonna always gonna have a reason not to do whatever,
Yes.
and that is what
Okay.
it is. But then sometimes it's religious. Like if you're Jehovah Witness, you don't celebrate Christmas or your
Mhm.
birthday or things like that. You don't do those things.
Okay.
Or he may have came up in a household where showing that kind of I won't say emotion, but that reaction to a day wasn't something that was shined upon. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Maybe his dad didn't celebrate, which passed it on to him.
Mm.
Or their family just didn't big up holidays for whatever reason. Or maybe something happened on that holiday to where it's tragic and he doesn't
Mhm.
want to associate with that day because of said event. And then there's a million reasons, but a lot of times from cats I ran into, it was because they were cheap.
And then
Wow.
my opinion is I mean we were talking backstage. You like you said, don't start something that you've been doing and then all of a sudden you stop. I don't do it. But as far as I had put out on social media, like, do you supposed to if it's Mother's Day, do you supposed to give your significant other a Mother's Day gift when she's not your mother? And it's like so many people said had comments and they were like, well, yes, because she has your kids. And I'm like, but what if she don't have your kids? She got kids by somebody else. Do you still give her a gift? In my opinion, I don't feel like a man should give nobody a Mother's Day gift but his mother. But if you give him sisters and cousins and all that, you better give your wife or whoever you sleeping with a gift too. But no,
Exactly.
I don't feel like he's
Absolutely.
obligated to give her one because that's not his mother. It's a mother's gift for mothers. But that's just how I feel.
You know, I
And
never
Valentine's is
thought of it
overrated.
that way.
I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I just don't.
Same
I never
way.
thought of it
J
that
Money,
way.
I'm the same way, and that's really how I feel about it because, you know, like I said, just be honest with the woman that you're dealing with. And that's what
Absolutely.
me and Jay Money was talking about backstage, and that's what I was saying as well because I was telling her about like I was even reading stuff like some of these chats and you get some of these groups they get really deep into the reasons behind it. But again,
Hmm.
fellas, you cannot be with a woman and your whole thing is you're telling her that you don't celebrate Mother's Day in lieu of her
Hmm.
because she's not your mother, but here you
Hmm.
are buying your sister because she has kids
Yep.
a Mother's Day gift. She's not your
That's
mother
wrong.
either. Like make
Either.
it make
That's
sense
wrong.
is all I'm saying.
Hmm.
Make it
Hmm.
make sense. And if you don't want to
Hmm.
buy that woman something, just say that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But don't lie. You don't. There's no reason to lie. Um, and even with the whole Valentine's Day thing, I have actually witnessed guys that say they don't celebrate Valentine's Day when it comes to that woman that they're dealing with. It's kind of like what you said, I think, Dr. Reels. It's that cheap stuff, but at the same time, they're trying to cover it up. They'll hit you with the whole, yeah, I don't celebrate that. And then you'll see on social media they bought their mom a Louis Vuitton, or they celebrated it with their mom.
Hmm.
It's the same thing. Like, now, is
It's the
this really
same.
your belief? Or are you sitting here lying and you just don't want to do it? All we're
Shit.
saying is be real
Be
with it. We
honest.
can
Be
respect that if you're
Q100.
being honest. But you sitting here lying,
Absolutely.
we looking at you sideways in a whole nother way, and
Absolutely.
everything that comes
And
out your
you
mouth at that
deserve to look
point,
at that way.
to be honest with you, is a lie. And we
Absolutely.
and that's when we get that name for ourselves, J Money, that like, oh yeah, she's a scorn, black woman, or she's, well, really what it is
Yeah,
that
she
we done caught you
better back
lying about
on that.
something. We done caught you lying about something just as small as some chocolate candy for Valentine's Day, and now we don't believe nothing come out of your mouth.
Nothing.
Like
Not a
you are a
word.
joke. At that
Not a
point, you
word.
are really a joke. If we catch you celebrating
Absolutely.
behind closed doors and all you have to do is
Absolutely.
buy some little chocolate candy, yeah, your credibility is gone, sir. Like
And it should be.
it's
I'm
over.
a I'm a true believer.
And
If
it
your
should be
actions
gone.
don't line up with your words, then I don't. Everything you say is a lie. If your actions
A
don't line up
lie.
with your words, everything you say is a lie.
There's a lot
Cause
of
you
folks like that.
lying.
100%. Yes,
Folks
yes.
like that.
But and I do believe this as well because we were saying when me and some of the ladies was talking about it, one of the ladies was like, I never like when does that conversation supposed to come up? Because what we were saying, she was saying was that, well, if you're in a relationship with somebody, how are you not to know whether they celebrate these things or not? Well, when you're beginning to date, I just don't think those conversations come up. So think about it. It could be June of 2021. You just started meeting a guy, y'all just started dating. Valentine's Day already passed, but here it's going to come back next year. I don't think that conversation has come up within that time frame. You're going to definitely probably find it out that year or the month before when it comes back around.
Wow.
So it was interesting.
That sounds good.
It was yeah, it was some really interesting stuff. I just believe that, we do have to start respecting the fact if someone does have a certain belief, because at the end of the day, as an adult, as a woman, as a man, or whatever the case may be, you really have to actually respect that and make a decision if that's something that you can deal with or you can't. You really can't just knock that person because they don't celebrate it or if that's something they don't believe in. It's your choice to decide whether that's something that you want to be involved in when it comes to a relationship. I'm gonna tell you something else I read when I was
I agree.
we were talking about this, and I was shocked to even read this because I never really did like research on Nia Long. For some reason, she popped up. I don't know why she popped up, but she does not believe in marriage, and I didn't know that. Nia Long, I didn't either. She does not believe in marriage. And she was talking about like different personalities, and that show that she's on with that crazy guy that they used to date back in the day or something, and they come in contact with each other and he's crazy. His name David or something. But she was like, there's some real Davids out here in the world. But to go elaborate on her reason, she just said that she don't feel that she should be tied to someone like that. She said that she does not feel that she should be forced to be. She said something about being a property of someone. She was like, what happens when we get married? What changes? So do you own me now? Do I own you? You got paperwork on me?
There's
I
a
got
lot of
paperwork
people
on
like
you?
that.
But I
There's a lot
never
of
know.
people like that.
I didn't even know she's never been married, but I did
Me
not
neither.
know that. I didn't know that her thought process was like that. I really, truly didn't.
I
But
didn't either. But
it
there's
was
a lot
it
of
was
people
good
with
to
those
just.
beliefs, though.
Yeah, but you have to. That's why you got to talk to people. I know some people struggle with communicating and sharing their beliefs and things like that. But it's very unfair to the other person if you guys are trying to get to know each other and
Absolutely.
you have all these things going on and you're giving false hope because you're withholding certain things. You know what I'm saying? So I
You
said
got to
all
make sure
that.
that y'all on the same playing field. Just it
You
won't
have
work if
to.
both of y'all one going right and one going left. You gotta let me
Right.
tell you what I believe in and what I don't believe in marriage and that is that what you're looking for because you could be looking for marriage and I'm not.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
And people try to withhold that stuff because they don't want to be
absolutely.
judged or
All right,
or
you
the
stop
other
talking to
person is
me.
like it ain't that
Hmm.
serious yet. No, that
Hmm.
that stuff needs to really be discussed
Yes,
in the
up front,
beginning. I mean, I even
up
hear some
front.
people say they got
Yes.
certain times when you should start talking about credit.
Mm-mm.
Like, what's your credit
Mm-mm.
score and all those things. But, some things need to be discussed ASAP because
ASAP.
at this point, we're wasting each other's time.
It's
You know what I'm
time.
saying?
Absolutely.
And we're knowing if you're not going to change that mindset, we need to know, you know?
Hmm.
kind of going back to that Neil Long thing you said.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there's two words that scare people to death in relationships and marriage, and they abuse these words to death. Is
What is it?
accountability and submissiveness.
Hmm.
People are scared of those two
Mm.
words. You
Hmm.
telling
Wow.
me where you're going is not me owning you. We just
Hmm.
hold each other accountable. I
Hmm.
think I
Right.
said this last week. If you get missing and they come talk to me and say, well, Craig, did you know where's the last place Kesha said she was going? And I'm your husband, and I go, I don't know. I'm already number one suspect already.
Suspect. Absolutely.
Now I'm really number one
Right.
suspect extra because I don't know where my wife was. I have no accountability
Absolutely.
where she was because
That
Hmm.
makes sense.
she felt like she needed to tell me where she's going, and I felt like it doesn't make no sense. And then it comes to the other part about being submissive. That word has been so dirtied up that we're scared of that word.
Mhm.
And it's not what people think. I'm not saying you got to be my slave or you got to do everything
Right.
I tell you to do. That's not what submissive is. Talk. Submissive to me is
Mm-mm.
vulnerability.
Absolutely.
Right.
I can be
Being able to
vulnerable
be
with you and
vulnerable.
tell you my deepest, darkest, the darkest
Yes.
desires, secrets, wants, needs, and I'm open and I'm not think you're going to abuse that privilege.
Hmm.
Right. I agree.
That's it. Those two words are more the most abused and misunderstood words when it comes to marriage relationships. Nobody wants to be accountable because nobody wants me. I shouldn't ask my wife to go with my friends. You're not asking. You just say, "Babe, I'm going to hang with the boys." You're not asking for her
Right.
permission. You just tell her where
You're
you're
not
going,
absolutely because
and
if
vice
something
versa.
Right.
happens somewhere and then you like, well, I know that ain't my husband and wife over there because my wife said she was going over here. That's not like you're telling them, baby, can I go with my friend to my girlfriends to this restaurant? No, because if something happens at that restaurant, my husband will say, well, I know Rhonda ain't over there because Rhonda at this restaurant. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But
Exactly.
if he doesn't know, then all of a sudden you gotta get that phone call. You're like, dang, if only I had asked her, I would have been there. I would have known. I had to wait to get this phone call to know my wife was at that restaurant. That's
Exactly.
crazy.
Right.
There's nothing wrong being
It's
submissive
true.
to your husband or your wife. It's not saying I'm oh I got shackles and handcuffs wherever you go I must go or you better tell me or you can't go. No, it's just showing you I respect you enough to tell you where I'm going. I respect you
Hmm.
enough that I love you enough to show you, babe, this is where I'm going, this is where I say I'm going, I'm coming back. It's not you giving account. That's a lot of people. Oh, I feel like I'm bounded or handcuffed to her once we say I do. It's not that. If you got that if
Right.
she showed you that type of way, she was like that before y'all even got married.
Hmm. Hmm.
So why
I
would you
agree.
marry her? Why would you marry her? But
I agree.
yeah,
I mean,
people.
I appreciate you guys chiming in reference of that. I think it was very necessary because, I mean, everybody,
Hmm.
we all got different perspectives of certain things, and I
Hmm.
definitely think
Hmm.
sometimes there's an elephant in the room. Sometimes people want to know the answer to these questions and they don't
Yeah.
ask, but I'm like that's something to talk about because everybody is going through similar things, especially when it's coming to these relationships and things like that, marriages, being submissive. I mean, this if you hashtag that on social media, everything's gonna populate like for real
Everything.
because that's the topic, man. You hashtag, I'm not playing, you hashtag that, guarantee you some stuff gonna come up.
Hmm.
That's
But
crazy.
thank y'all for chiming in reference of my topic. I do know that we have some other topics to get into, and we do have the next topic coming up with your girl J Money. And what do you have for us today?
So I want to talk about when is a good time to cut your adult kids off financially. So the reason
Woo.
why I came up with this topic, I have a friend. She's African descent, means she's from Africa. She's African American, of course, but she's from Africa. So she was talking to me about when your kids a certain age. So I didn't know in the Africa culture, when you turn 18 or when you become an adult, if you're not in school or the ladies haven't gotten married or you're not a professional, you're not allowed to leave the house. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
So she made the comment that she doesn't understand why, African American black people, as soon as you become an adult, they kick them out. She's like, what if they're not ready? What if they're not physically and mentally ready to be in the world? But you already said you grown, you gotta go. And then if you don't believe that they gotta go, then what are you gonna do because you can't stay here? So I didn't know in the African culture, even if you grown, you could be 25. If they don't see, if the lady hasn't gotten married to start a family, she can't leave unless she's in school or a professional. A man, he cannot leave unless he's married, in school, or a professional. That's why so
When you
many of
say
them come
leave, you're saying
like
like leave the house?
leave the house. The mother and father will not allow them to move out. You can't move out. You can't take your stuff out.
Even
If you take your
so,
stuff out without them giving you the consent, then you're frowned upon. You're not welcome in the family anymore. I didn't know that. You got to be
hell,
because
me neither.
they don't believe in you putting your kids out before they're ready. Before just because you're 18 and you're ready don't mean you're ready for the world. You got to be mentally ready. That means you prepared yourself to in some way of being educated or successful. or you starting a family. That's all. And I'm like, I can't do that to my kids. But when I talked to her and we talked about this, I was like, you know what? It makes a lot of sense because some of people do allow their kids to be out there only for them to come back. Like you don't push them out, but they wasn't ready for the world, but they right back in your house. And then it was like on Mother's
Hmm.
Day, I had a friend who said, her son he's been out, he came back in, he went out, he come back in. So the father was like, so at what point are you gonna cut him off? Like, but he's only 23. He like, look, this is causing a problem in our house. We was, loving on each other, enjoying our house, doing us, and then he bring his ass right back in here, and you let him. But she said, "Well, I'm not gonna allow my baby to be out here in these streets, and then I have to worry about where he at. Well, he should be doing this on his own. He a man. Get his ass out there and be a man." I'm like, so people, let's all talk about that. Do you feel like it's okay once they turn 18, they graduate to say, hey, it's time for you to go? No matter where you go, you gotta leave this house. And
Well,
if they
I would
fall, can they come back? It's okay to come back.
I would say for parents, my mom had a figurative clock when I got in my senior year. She's like at 18, you gonna be one or two things. You either gonna be in college with three things. You in college, you got a job, you're in the military. And I was like, well, damn, okay. But I'm like, I'm ready to go anyway. So I ain't tripping. I mean, it is what it is. I'm ready to go anyway because I'm ready to see, what I'm saying, what I've learned from my great grandmother who pretty much raised me and my
Yes,
mom together and apply that to what's happening in the world. Now, I do understand black people have a reputation of kicking our kids out. As soon as they graduate out of high school,
yes,
we got to go. I don't agree with that. And now, again, my mama that was her process. So to say that wasn't in my DNA will be wrong because that's what I saw. But I never seen the. My thing is put a blueprint together for your kids. Y'all got to have a time frame together.
True.
Talk to each
absolutely.
other. But
True.
here's the thing you can't do. Here's the thing that I always say. If I'm saying you living here and you trying to figure out your life, you can't be sitting here getting a million Amazon packages in here and not saving no money.
No,
That's
no,
the problem.
no,
So what you're not going to do is pimp me. You're not going to pimp me because I'm your parent.
no,
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to
absolutely,
come to some real life conversations. Now, if you go out in the
absolutely.
world
Yeah.
and you struggle, you already got a home here.
That's how
But
that's how I feel
my
too.
goal is for you to once, but it's a home here, but you're not going to be grounded here. We gonna pick you
Absolutely.
back up, gonna put you back together, and we gonna put you back out in the world.
Yes,
That's my
So,
job. Because it's time for mama and daddy to. We've been parents for we're gonna be parents for life, but we was in that 20-year, 22-year span where everything was about you, and
yeah.
absolutely.
now it's time for us to regain each other. You have to understand, and we don't want you here. We love you, but we trying to, what I'm saying? We trying to get the whole thing back, and you kind of interrupted the situation here.
Dr.
Trying
Real,
to get
not
our
the
Don't
groove
whole
put
back.
your
thing
kids out
back.
there like that
We're
and
trying to
make
get
them
our
feel like
groove
they
back,
can't
and
come
you in here
home.
cock blocking. We're trying to get our groove back, and you in here cock
Exactly.
blocking. Get
So
your
one more
ass
time,
out.
you hear cockabalaki.
Right. Hey, let's read some of these comments really quick. And I think Kim is on the same page that you're on, Dr. Real. Kim Watson says, it's your rights in the black household. Many times parents tell their children they have to go when they turn a certain age, but that's so wrong.
It
Let's
is.
help out our children, get them set up to go out into the world by helping them
Yes,
save money for that car, the
yes,
apartment. They have to get a
yes.
good paying job first. I agree, and I want to
I
elaborate a
agree.
little bit
I
on
agree. That's
that.
why this is my subject. I agree.
And Cam Harris says mine can always come back. Um,
Absolutely.
and that's what my question. So pretty much what you're saying, Jay Money, is that your friend girl from Africa pretty much is forbidden. It's more
Yes.
like their kids or their adults, young adults, they're facing a situation where they may possibly want to go and
They don't have a
they're
choice.
not able to unless they're pretty much
To the mom and
you're
dad.
you're you're abandoned from the family type stuff.
Yes,
And
like the
what we're
mom and dad
saying
that frown up
is
on it.
they frown upon that. So what we're saying is here our kids have a choice, but we should possibly make sure they understand that they should wait until they're ready.
And so,
And
or
I
we
think
make sure that
to
they ready, not to they're ready, till you see it in them that they grown enough or
that
mentally grown or stable enough to get out on their own.
right. And no, I'm agreeing with you. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that us today, and I'll say our generation,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think that we were raised that way. But honestly,
Mm-mm.
I'll take me for example. I
Mm-mm.
graduated on a Friday and I left and moved on a Saturday out my mother's house. Like I
Mm.
was ready to go. I already kind of had a plan. I wanted to be on my own. You know, I had stuff I wanted to do, you know, the way I wanted to
Just to
do
say
it. But
holla.
I made a promise that I would never go back. Like,
That was
thank
me.
God I never had to, but I'm saying that I was ready to go. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, she didn't put me out, but I think it was because it's like how we were raised, I guess.
It
Um,
is.
my mom was, she didn't stay with her mom, and when she turned
Mm-mm.
her adulthood, she left. So I think it's really how we're raised now. I
Mm-mm.
will say now my mindset is different because getting a taste of this world, I see so many opportunities that I could have had I just been
Absolutely.
patient, had I
Me.
just waited. Like my whole man, like I would have been so above, like you don't even understand.
I would have been on a different
But
level right now.
a whole nother level, like for real. And now that I understand that, I want to make sure that my daughter understands it. But the crazy part about it is, she's like, who said I'm probably gonna leave? Yeah, like she got plans. She ready to go. But I'm like, listen, hear me out. You know, I got you. So it's kind of like we now understand the different world that we're living in,
Mm-hmm.
and we do want our
Mm-hmm.
kids to stay because what'll end up happening is that if we don't prepare them, it's going to be more money out of your pocket anyways because you're going
Absolutely.
to be helping them out there. So why not
Anyway,
make sure they get the stuff, you know, get their stuff together now, and then let them go ahead and blossom into the world. It's going to be a
and it,
whole lot cheaper and a whole lot better for the
and it's fun.
both of us. But I'm
Yes,
with
and it's
Dr.
so
Real. You
funny
can't be
that you say
having
that.
Amazon
Yes.
packages because I like Amazon too. And
Yes.
I don't need to be confused at who Amazon is dropping off a package for. It's supposed to be me. But you
And
know, you
and
can't
and
do
it's
all that. You
funny.
got to be saving some money.
And it's funny that you
Exactly.
say that because I'm in the process of purchasing my first home. And I was like, I'm gonna get a 4 bedroom. And people are like, why? It's just you. I said, because my kids always have they always have a home. But I made it clear to my kids, this ain't your home to stay. That means if you fall, because both of my kids got their own apartment, they're doing their own thing. But if you fall, I'm here to catch you. But don't get here and get comfortable. This ain't for you to get comfortable. This is for
Right.
you to say, hey, mama, I fell, because it can happen. COVID happened. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people were
Right.
without jobs and nowhere to go. And the homeless shelter went up 50% because of it. Why? Because why? When you have family, before I see my kids homeless, no, you got a room, but don't get comfortable. Meaning you can't put your shit in them drawers. Keep your shit in them
Right.
them tubs, them baskets, whatever you got. I mean, hang up something, but don't put nothing on the top shelf because that means you're getting comfortable. No, but it's just for you to say, hey, mama, I failed, but if you could just allow me to stay here 3 months to save my checks to get back on my feet, you got somewhere to go. And it's like,
Mhm.
and I'm with you, Kesha. I wish I could have done things differently. I told you guys I met my husband at 14. I was living with him at 15. My auntie was the manager of some apartments, and she falsified the information for us to have our own apartment. And it was like my grandmother was so strict. I said, once I'm mad, I'm never going back. Shit, I wish I could have ran back to her house right to this day. Do you hear me? I wish I could have ran
Right.
back. Cause I got 2 kids at 18, then I'm married by 20, and then I'm doing and my whole life was just turned upside down had I just stayed my little grown fast ass at home and not trying to be a wife or a girlfriend at 15. I'm just saying, I
Right.
agree with you 1000%. But my grandmother was so strict. When you get 18, you getting your ass up. I said, I'm gonna leave before 18. Shit, I'm tired of you. But I wish I could run back to her
Wow.
now. I really wish I could run back to her and start all over. I stay there until I'm ready. So I feel like I'm ready to get out.
Yeah.
So I agree
That's
with you
understandable.
1000%. But it's in the black culture. I can't speak for other races, but from what I've seen in the black culture, it's like, damn, I can't wait till you get 18. Your ass get up out of here. You get up out of my house as soon as you get 18. But he ain't even doing nothing now. That's why he keep coming
Right.
back. You
Right.
ain't even taught him no kind of values for us getting a job. You haven't taught him anything financially started as of saving money. What are you teaching him to be prepared for the world? But you're putting him out there in the world, and you want to wonder why he starts selling dope. You don't know how to adapt.
Right.
You did
Right.
everything for him, especially the mamas. We do everything for them. And then we put them, oh no, your ass get 18, you gotta go. I don't care what you got going on, you gotta go. Because that's how we raised. But we gotta keep that mindset now to teach my daughter having kids, my son having kids. Don't let your kids go until you feel like they mentally ready to go. Because they don't do nothing come back anyway.
Yeah.
They don't know how to accept the world.
Right.
So
You just
I
gotta be
agree
able
You
with
got to
to.
y'all.
have a plan.
Kim, I agree with you 1000%. Cam, I agree with you as well.
You just gotta be able to learn
Yeah.
how to mix compassion with tough love. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
if they know they
Yeah.
can be irresponsible and you're that safety net and you just keep taking there's no lessons learned in that process, then they're gonna keep falling back on you all the time because they know that I can
Mhm.
go there and screw up everything, but I know my mama got me. My
That's true.
mama and
That's
Right.
daddy got
real.
me.
Right.
And I'm
That's
the one who's
right.
just blowing off
Right.
stuff, you know what I'm saying? I know that's when to land. But you make that landing uncomfortable, you got when to land, but it's getting hotter over here every time you land here. You
Every
gotta learn
time.
something. You
Yeah.
just can't keep making the same poor
Mistakes.
decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Right.
mistakes that you're doing unknowingly, but if it's the same lesson you keep repeating, they ain't no mistake no more. You know
Mm-mm.
what I'm
Right.
saying? You're either
And
comfortable with what you're doing or you just hard headed.
That's it.
that's true.
Just point blank period.
Yeah. And we got to start giving ourselves credit, as parents, because I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm more comfortable with no. It's one thing when you didn't try to do the things that you know that you should do to prepare, your child. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like once we've done all those things, once we showed you, the
Yes.
benefits of
Yes.
having good credit, the benefits of having a savings, the benefits of, because, a lot of times kids don't really tell you that they're watching you, but they're watching you.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, my daughter is like a good thing, but it's like a curse because she acts just like me. And honestly, she like gets on my nerves sometimes, but she does things that I know that she should be doing, and she's very responsible. And I don't think that if when she goes out to the world, I know she's aware of certain things. I know she's prepared. I see her saving her money. She
Mm-hmm.
want to
That's
work a
good.
job. She
That's
got a
good.
credit card. She understands transferring money from checkings to savings, and so those little basic things, we got to start giving ourselves the credit that we deserve too as parents to
Yeah,
prepare them. Now,
absolutely.
now what happens when they get out there? Those other choices that they make, that really ain't got nothing to
Mm-hmm.
do with us if we did what
Mm-mm.
we were supposed to
Right.
do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Right.
the mindset a lot of us gotta have, because I'm with Dr. Real too. We trying to celebrate and do the things we need to
The,
do because we've
Yeah,
done
that's
a
right.
great job. So you gonna get out there and take care of your business, and I'm
do
gonna be over
you,
here in Jamaica somewhere, with a under the
Lord?
umbrella drinking on something. Hello, somebody.
Absolutely. At
So
that
Enjoying
part.
your
that's
life.
just. Mm,
And then, like I was saying, and I blame myself with my son. I did baby him. I can't lie. I baby him. I kept baby him until I got in a situation where I'm staying with my daughter until I move into my house, and my daughter is playing like she the mama now. No, tell him no, mama. When he called, tell him no. So when I said no the other day, I said, Olivia, you're gonna be so proud of me. She like, what? I told him no. She was like, what? I was shocked myself that I said no. Because he got his own apartment. He was like, Mama, I'm short on the rent. Can you help me out? And I end up like paying half of the rent. I'm like, I don't even stay with y'all. And then I said, well, I need my money back. And she was like, nope, if you're going to give it to him, don't even ask for it back. Just go on and call it a loss. And I'm like, no, Olivia, I want my money back. Then she's like, Mama, stop babying him. He ain't gonna never learn how to stand on his own. What if you die tomorrow? He not coming here. He can't come stay with me because he don't know how to stand on his own. So I finally said no, y'all. This was last week. And then I can't lie. Behind closed doors, I felt bad. I really did. I really did. I
wow.
cannot lie. I was like, okay, he's 27, but he's still my baby. And she like,
Right.
Mom, he got a whole woman and two kids over in his house, and you
Yeah.
still baby him like he
He ain't
five.
no baby no
But
more.
But I did tell him no,
That's
Dr.
right.
Real. But I did feel bad about it. I cannot lie. But I'm like, she right.
It'll get easier.
I can't.
That's mama though.
It'll
That's
get
mama.
easier.
That's mama.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't. I got she right. I gotta make him stand on his own because if I wasn't here, where would he get it from? Who would help him? So
Mm-hmm.
I
Mhm.
had to say no. But I did feel bad, y'all. I can't lie.
Good job, J Money. Good
Proud of you.
job. You practice a little bit more, you will get it.
A little
Uh,
bit. Dr. Real,
thank
these
y'all.
saying no thing shit he keep putting in our head. I think it's working.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank y'all for chiming in about that. And J Money, that was good information. I'm glad you even used that example of your friend girl, because I'm telling you, I did not know
I
that
didn't
in
either.
reference of Africa, because I'm pretty sure there's some other countries that operate the same way. I don't know,
Yes.
but that's something that we
I
need to
did
know.
I did not know that
You never
neither.
know who you. Yeah, you just never know.
They do not. You
But
go out on your own, it's a problem. I'm like,
it's a
really?
problem. Wow, that's deep. That's
Then
deep.
she went on to tell me that the husband has to be approved by the mom and daddy for you to say I do. So we started talking about that. I was like, what the hell? If the mom and dad don't agree with your husband, you can't get married.
Oh, you know what? I think I seen that on how Stella got a groove back.
That's
But
crazy. You can't choose
it
my
is
husband
crazy.
for me.
You really can't though. That's I don't
Yeah,
know.
but that was a
That's
different
deep.
topic. That was a different subject. So I didn't bring that up. But we did talk about that too. I'm like, that's
But you know
crazy.
what? That doesn't. I did get invited to Africa one time, and I was just straight up honest, and that's why I'm trying to tell y'all people about this other stuff. You got to be honest with people. But I did tell that guy. I said, hey, I'm not. I'm not equipped to be like my mouth is a certain kind of. I'm kind of fly by the mouth,
Mm,
and I didn't want to
mm,
be in a situation where I ain't want to meet nobody parents from Africa. They be like, "What's wrong with her?" Like, and this just me. But I'm like, "Yes, sir. Definitely you don't want to take me to Africa. I'm not the one you want to take to Africa. If I gotta behave a certain kind of way and do certain things, I'm probably not the one you want to take to Africa. I'm gonna pass on that one. Mm-mm. I can't go. I'm just saying, because for some reason these people they be thinking I'm from Africa. I'm
mm.
like, I'm not. I'm from Arkansas originally by way of Arkansas. I live in Dallas. Like I'm not from there, but they for some reason want to take me, and I'm like, I'm not ready. I gotta get trained to go. I can't go because I probably
Yeah.
won't even get to come back. I've been did something wrong, and I have to stay over there. But
Yeah.
thank y'all so much for chiming in reference of the topic that we just had. We do have a
Thank
lot of
y'all. Thank
comments here.
y'all.
And y'all know we got another topic to get into, and it is with you, Dr. Real. What you got
What's
for us
going
tonight?
on, family? This argument is all over the internet all the time. It's about
Hmm.
can traditional relationships or values live in a modern world? And
Mm,
my perspective is no.
mm,
You can't want a Model T Ford with a Tesla interior. It's not going to work.
Okay.
That's an old school car with new school guts.
uh-huh.
Yeah, you can't have a Model T with a Tesla interior. It's not going to work for you. Two different worlds. So let's break it down. Why? Because a lot of people, especially us men, we get a little bit upset when we get dragged through the mud about how we're not needed as much anymore. Uh, we don't value things anymore. We don't chivalry's dead. We don't do traditional stuff anymore. But the reason why a lot of that has occurred because the world has changed.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into it. A lot of us look at our grandmother and grandfather and be like, oh man, relationship goals. I hope I'll be together that long. Okay, let's look at when they got together. Your grandma couldn't work outside the house for most parts.
Yeah.
So her
Mm-hmm.
whole livelihood was dependent on Otis.
Mm,
Otis went to
Mm.
work. Otis made the money. Otis made a decision with the money. Your grandmother couldn't get a bank account in her name without the husband signing off on it. She couldn't really own any property without the husband signing off on it. So even though he may have been beating her, emotionally abusing her, physically abusing her, sexual trauma and everything else that was going on, and 18 baby mamas all around the greater Dallas area, she
mm-hmm.
couldn't leave
Mm-mm.
because she couldn't work. She couldn't earn any money to take care of those 12 kids they had. So she had to
That's
stay
right.
there.
Right.
Now that wasn't always the case for all of those marriages, but we like to romanticize how things, how we want them, how we want to look at them versus how they are, and
Mm-hmm.
that's
Right.
why they were together that long. You couldn't get it back in the days in the 30s and 40s. You wouldn't divorce nobody, even in the 50s. Divorce wasn't a thing until the 70s. You
Mm-hmm.
were there, and it was a man's world. Your job, and I hate this saying to this day, your job was to be barefoot and pregnant. That's how most men thought. That was a chauvinistic
Mm-hmm.
viewpoint, but that's how
That's
that's
why they
how
had so
men
many kids.
thought.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
fast forward to
Mm-hmm.
the 1940s when all the men were in World War II and women were really introduced into the workforce. They first taste of making their own money. They loved it. It's like, well, shit. Okay, I like this right here. I got my own money. I ain't got to worry about asking him for this and that. I can do for
Mm-hmm.
myself, and it gives me a sense of that self-esteem. You're not totally 100% dependent on somebody. You can do something for yourself. That independent feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But then you go into the 50s and 60s when the feminism movement started, things started to change. Then in the 70s, you can get a divorce. Then women start picking up more and more and more rights. Men start slipping more and more and more into the backfield, and then you want to go deeper, you start separating the black family, and more. It was women
Mm-hmm.
doing things on their own because the government started getting involved, separating families. So then you have the
Mm.
part and whatsoever. But the relationships, as far as traditional and modern, they don't work. Now in the dating field, you have to be traditional to some aspects. If I'm the kind of person, if I ask you to lunch or on a date, I'm paying because I'm the one that offered and asked
Mm-hmm.
you to come eat with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I should be paying. But in
Mm-hmm.
this day and age, I would as I tell my girls, do not walk out this house without any money in your pocket in case you go with
Absolutely.
someone who
Absolutely.
don't want to pay for you. Or matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
you may pick up a vibe off of him where you don't want him to pay for you because he might be expecting something after he
Right.
pays for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you getting
Yep.
that vibe, like,
Yep.
I think I'll pay for my own food this time.
Yep.
Yep.
Because you one then we had shrimp and lobster. I'm trying to smash type people. I can feel it off of you. No,
Yep.
that ain't happening over here. So I don't think they can really mix. Even in a household, you have. I said earlier that submissive equals vulnerability, right? You have to be able to be vulnerable in order to be submissive, and both man and woman should submit to each other. Shouldn't be just
Exactly.
one doing to others. Should
Wait,
be
back
both.
up. Don't run past that, Dr. Real. Do not run past that one. Because somebody needs to hear you say that, and I think it's the people in the back. You
I
just
mean,
said.
we should be submissive to each other. I tell this all the time about
Absolutely.
leadership. Just because you're a
Absolutely.
man does not make you a great leader.
At all.
It just doesn't. But that's another social
Say that
construct
again. Say that
that we
again.
made to where he's a man, he's a leader. Not necessarily. You might
Mm-mm.
be a good leader at this skill set because you're better at that than your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Then she could be a better leader at this aspect because she's better at that than you. And it's
Uh-huh.
okay. See, if you're vulnerable, then you're not worrying about that ego is not as involved if you're vulnerable to your mate, to each one of y'all. The
Why
ego ain't
everybody
involved.
don't get this?
I'm not going to care
It
if
needs
I
to be
know
a
you better with
class.
money. If I know you can take two niggas and make a quarter, I'm gonna let you
Mm-hmm.
be the one running the money, and I ain't gonna have a problem with that as
Exactly.
long as you're being
Ab-
responsible and accountable. Because marriage is the ultimate business venture. If you're doing it right,
You know
it's a business.
what? Let me tell you
Period.
what I think, Dr. Real. This is what I
Because
think. Bless you, J Money.
if we marry
Bless you
Kesha,
again.
it don't matter who playing CEO at some part. Because I'm related to sports. Some nights
Yep.
you're gonna be your shot gonna be on, and I'm off.
Right.
That's
So my
right.
job, instead of being soaking and being mad on the bench, I'm gonna be assisting you throwing you the ball because you hot right now.
That's
Hey, guess
right.
what though,
Next
Dr.
night,
Real? Let me tell you something. I'm really hot on that court is what you really don't know because you want to throw me the ball. I'm your girl. You want to
right.
throw me the ball now.
And then that,
I'm
that
sorry I
next
had to put
night,
that in there.
you
I'm the
may not be
center.
hot the next night. It might be my turn. It might be my turn to shoot and your
As
turn to assist.
that's
So
that's
I
right.
said last week about playing positions. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where that a lot of people get that traditional part wrong. I don't think that part of that can work in this world, but for the most part, no. Because a lot of more men want to get married nowadays than women do
They
for
do.
various reasons. Because
Really is.
That's why I don't understand why men get mad when a woman says, I don't need a man, I want one. I don't understand why men get mad at that.
Hmm.
They
They
don't
do.
need to, because marriage is not as lucrative for the woman as, what I'm saying. It has been. Don't get me wrong, you get divorced, you eat for the most part. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not something that I need to do now because I can take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
We can be teammates and make something great together, but I'm cool by myself if that's the move too. And that's
Exactly.
all we gotta understand. So
That's it.
traditional ways are gone because women are no longer saying, boy, pie.
That's right.
I'm good. I got my own house, got my own car, I got money, a credit card. I don't need you to make my life better. I want you to
Right.
come in and maybe we can enhance our lives together, but I don't need you to make me. But
I
there's too
need
many
you to
some
teach
women
this
out here.
class, Dr. Real.
There's some
Woo.
women out here that's giving mixed signal though. You
That's
Mm.
can't be
true.
hypocrite with it.
That's true.
You can't
That's
talk about,
true.
oh, well, we dating, need to pay my bills. No, boo boo, you a grown ass woman. No, no,
Pay your own
no,
bills.
it's not. If
Pay
I
your
wasn't
own
with you,
bills.
how would you?
Yeah.
You'll be getting by just like I am. We both got to eat. We both got to drink water, wash, baby. All those the basic necessities to live. We both got to do it.
Hmm.
So how
That is
you
so
want me to take
true.
care of me and you, but you independent? That
Right.
doesn't mix.
Right.
No, you're not. Especially we just kicking it. Now, if you need something and I can help you out, absolutely. That's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? If I'm with you, I
Right.
should be able again is to help you to assist. That's all about being a teammate. Your CEO and your CFO, Cash, you can't even hide the money from me if we're in a company because that's called
Hmm.
embezzlement, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Taken away
All
from the
that.
company.
Mm-hmm.
Everything should
Hmm.
be on the table. Shouldn't be nothing hidden. This is what we're doing.
Nothing.
This is why I'm doing XYZ, babe. What do you think? Okay, let's do
Hmm.
Right.
that. This
Yep.
is why I'm doing
I agree.
XYZ, babe. Okay, babe, let's
I
do
agree.
that. Have a conversation.
Hmm.
Get out your feelings, reduce your ego, and quit trying to be the dominant and the alpha. That alpha word has gotten out of control.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Out of
That
control.
traditional thing should be out the window. Only thing I believe
It's
in
gone.
traditional is get married. Like I just want to be married. But other than all that traditional stuff, this how he's supposed to act. Why? Because that stuff don't work today.
It was
You
different
gotta you
times.
gotta do I believe you gotta do what works for your relationship. What
Exactly.
works for you might not work
Yeah.
for what your grandmother, your aunt, or your mama and daddy did. You gotta do what works for y'all. We
Mhm.
don't we don't march at everybody else's beat. We march to our
Exactly.
own. Baby, what we
Exactly.
doing?
Yeah.
And I
You know
like
what?
that's me.
I'm thinking now, when I hear Dr. Real talk and he's explaining the difference of, like, we both should be submissive, and like, this stuff
Absolutely.
ain't just falling out the air.
Mm-hmm.
These men understand what's going on. So now I'm
Mm-hmm.
beginning to think like they out here lying just like they are about this Valentine's Day stuff, probably. I don't know, because I feel like a lot of men use that word and throw it around as an advantage to say, oh yeah, nah, we can't get you will never be a wife, or you will never, because you don't know how to submit, when they don't even know what it means. You know what I'm
Means.
saying? So you're throwing that word around here as a defense mechanism because
Absolutely.
you don't want to be committed or anything close to committed. So your only excuse is you can't be submissive. Well, spell
You
it
talk
and
too much, huh?
define it for me, because you don't even know what it means, and I'm sick of it.
Your
And
mouth,
we
you
need to
run
just
your
be
mouth too
truthful.
much.
Your mouth too slick, your mouth too fly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just it's so much. We just got to be honest with each other. We got to just say what it is and
Mhm.
stop lying. If
Stop
that is
lying.
who you
Oh,
is, that's cool. It's
stop
somebody else out
lying.
there that want to sit right up with you and lie to you. If you out
Absolutely.
here lying, find you somebody else that's out here lying too. All
I'm
you gotta
with
do is
you.
hashtag in
Absolutely.
social media, Facebook, look them up, and go sit in the room and lie to them. And y'all can lie to each
Absolutely.
other,
Here's the,
and you could be happily ever after.
You
here's the thing
you
though.
That's all
preaching,
I'm
Kesha.
saying.
You preaching. Preach, girl.
If
Preach.
Yeah, go find
if
somebody else that
you
wanna lie.
if you know that you want a traditional relationship, but the woman that you are pursuing is as modern as can freaking be, that ain't gonna work.
It's not
It
gonna work.
ain't gonna work.
It's, it's
It's
not
not
gonna
gonna
It
work.
work.
ain't gonna
It's
work.
not gonna work.
Just
I don't care
and
what she
reverse.
look
If you
like. I don't care how
Mm-mm.
big her
Mm-mm.
booty is. It ain't gonna
Mm-mm.
work.
It
You
ain't gonna
gotta
work.
match. You gotta
you
match
Absolutely.
what
already
it
know,
is
and
that
vice
you want.
versa. If you are a
Same
woman
thing.
that wants a traditional man, but he's displaying all the future aspects of future,
A
you know they
future.
for you.
Wait,
I'm
Future
talking
Nah.
or
about how
Russell?
good they make you
Future.
feel.
Future. Not
Nah,
Russell.
I don't
Future.
want
I'm talking
Future
about
or
the
Russell.
rapper.
The
Oh,
You got the
Sierra.
hip hop type
Oh
chemistry.
yeah,
the
nah.
future, the
I don't
rapper.
want Future. Give me Russell. I want
Yeah.
Yeah,
Russell.
you
Cause
want,
he ain't
Cause
nothing about future
Russell
say
still got a
traditional.
little hood in him though. See,
but
that's what they
perfect
don't
example,
understand.
Kesha.
Russell got a little hood in him.
Russell
But
is
future,
traditional. Future is
yes.
modern. That's
You
a
ain't
perfect
nothing about
example.
No,
future
Future
says
ain't even nothing
husband.
modern about. Future is a fool. He got
He's
some
very
other
modern.
stuff going
It
on.
ain't nothing about him says husband.
Who, Future?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Dead not.
nothing. Nothing about him
Yeah, that's why
says,
it's Future.
oh,
He
that could
gonna
be my
forever be
husband.
looking for in the future. Like I don't know, Russell Future. But again, everybody have their own preference. Everybody have their own
Absolutely.
preference. But those are two different type of men, straight up. Like
Give me
yeah,
Russell
they say
all
give me
day.
Russell. I'm with
Give
you.
me
Give me
Russell
Russell all day, cause I'm telling y'all,
all
I be watching
day.
those little Instagram posts they be posting,
Me
and they think
too.
Russell is lame. I like the
No.
fact that Russell look lame, but guess what? Y'all got
Yeah.
Russell messed up. He got some hood in him. I could tell. I be
See,
seeing the little
Cause
videos that they be
I
making.
followed, yeah, I followed them on Instagram too. Yeah, he's not, ain't nothing about him simple. He
Ain't nothing
just come
about
off
him
like
just
that.
and it's good.
this
I
has
like that.
nothing. This has nothing to do with the subject, but it's so many hurt men out here giving advice to men, telling them
Mm.
don't treat your woman well. You a simp. Don't treat
A
women
simp.
good because these hoes ain't loyal. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of y'all Negroes ain't loyal either. It ain't about
No,
being
Mm.
it's about being a person of good character. You want to
no.
treat your woman good, treat her good. You shouldn't be
So you
made to feel like you
saying
a simp for doing that.
there's men that sit around and coach, because back in the day, the uncle that used to make the change in his pocket jiggle with all the keys and stuff,
The
he
Uncle
used to
Pimp.
have the nephews and the cousins and everybody around trying to tell them on, get you a good woman, and make sure
Yeah,
they used to give good advice. But you saying the dudes out here nowadays are just pretty much just saying, yeah, you don't supposed to do these things because you a simp.
yeah.
And there's
Like
a
they
lot of
they
guys that teach that on TikTok and on Twitter. And
uh,
there's people that teach that mindset to the young guys. And the problem with that is if hurt ears hear that, you harden that young man's heart now.
Mhm.
Now there are
Mhm.
some women gonna teach you a lesson if you're too nice to them. That's
Mhm.
anybody, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? You have people that are gonna take advantage of other people. That's just
It's
life.
that's just that's what life
You're not
is.
gonna avoid it. But that doesn't mean just because you got taught a hard lesson that you don't want to treat, what I'm saying, your woman that's actually doing the right things as you know what I'm saying, wrong. Because I'm gonna tell you
Mhm.
something. If people always worry about cheating, if somebody want to cheat, they're gonna find a damn way to get it done.
They gonna
ain't
do it.
nothing you
There
can do to
ain't
Yeah,
stop them.
nothing you can do
Nothing.
to stop it.
nothing.
Nothing.
It's
They can
in
make that
them.
trip
They
to
gonna
7
do it. They
Eleven
gonna do it.
a sneaky link. Just going to 7-Eleven.
They gonna do it.
Yep.
And
For
so
It's
real.
in them.
I just guys, you out here listening to these dudes telling y'all not the part of he-man hater, woman haters club, man. Get out of that. You too grown for that.
Too
Make your
grown
own
for it.
decision. You got a mind. If she give you the energy she shouldn't be treated well, then then instead of staying with her and treating her bad, just move around.
Because they always quick to say
That's
women ain't
crazy.
shit. But now the women that you're meeting ain't shit. Because our women ain't, it got something about them that's wife material or the quality of a good woman. It's just the ones you choosing. You got to think about
Exactly.
what you're
Right.
choosing. Think about what you're choosing.
Right.
Look back and say, am I laying with my future wife or you laying with your future slut? Whatever you want to call her.
Come on, somebody.
Just think about
Yeah.
that. You don't blame the world
But
or other people. Blame yourself because you sleeping with her.
it was a guy asked a question. I think it was last night. It was in your group, Dr. Real, and he said he was asking women, why is it that women choose? He said, why is it that women choose the doggish, I guess, type dudes, and the laid back, chill type dudes are the ones that always get skipped over. And I responded to him, but you know what? That's not the case, and women get a bad rap for that sometimes. But I just want to be honest. Those men, it does not mean that you're not a good man. But what happens is
Mm-mm.
that in my opinion, somebody, we all may think different, but what happens in those situations is that usually those real laid back, chill type dudes are very laid back and chill. So they don't communicate as
Mm-mm.
bluntly as the ones that, I guess they're considered doggish because they're loud and they're, want to be seen and they're talking. Those guys usually are the ones that's going to straight up tell the woman what it is that they want, what they're trying to do, and
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be vocal. But the other ones, it's like a guessing game. And y'all are probably the ones that the woman is more attracted to or want, but she's steady guessing of what it is that you want because you're not as vocal. So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to share with him that,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that those guys are being looked over. It's just that certain people communicate differently, and women, we're confused enough out here in this
Absolutely.
world. So, you have to be able to be vocal about just what it is that you want. If you're that type of guy, you don't have
And
to be
I
loud and sing, but
And I actually seen it on somebody's post. They said, "Why do y'all get mad when a man tell you up front he wanna fuck?" And then a man who say, "Hey, good morning," telling you all these nothings to lead up to what he want, and then he leave you alone. Why do women like that? Like you rather for a man to
I don't know.
tell
I
you to
don't know.
send
I
you
don't
these
like
fake.
that.
I don't need it. They were like telling you all these fake good mornings and hey, you looking beautiful today, only to lead up to having sex with you. Then they gone. But then when a man up
Yeah.
front saying, "This is why I want you. I want to have sex with you," you don't want him.
Yeah, but
I
no,
was
the
like,
thing is, I like the fact that that person is honest because you
I
just
do
made me
too.
make an easy decision. I like
Me
that, but
too.
that doesn't mean that's what I like. I'm glad you were
Mm-mm.
vocal, thank you, but that ain't that ain't that ain't it. I
Mm-hmm.
know that we are pushing for time, and I know that you got some quotes probably for us, Dr. Real.
Yes,
And
Dr.
when you
Real.
give us the quotes, if you would please, and like I said, I don't want to jump the gun, and I don't want to talk about this if you don't want to, but can you? I want people to know about some of the things that you're doing when it comes to the actual stuff that you have going on, because they may really be interested in it, because I know I am. And
Sure.
if you could just share, some things about it, whatever you want to share is totally fine with me.
Okay.
And you can give us your quotes as well.
Let me drop these quotes, and then I will talk about my baby, Hopeless Romantics Club. That's my baby.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Okay. Hopeless
Before you say
romantic.
I do, you need to find out how much they say I don't. Work,
Mm.
Ooh.
cook, clean, listen, cooperate, have patience, compassion, have sex drive, have spending control. So
Mm.
before you say I do, you need to find out how much they say I don't. That's a lot of people run into
Mm.
trouble
Damn.
when they say I do. They never got to how much they gonna say I don't. Some people say once that ring come on, things change. Things change because the ultimate agenda was them to get married.
Hmm.
They didn't want to do the work of the marriage. They just wanted to get married. That's why
Mm-hmm.
all the don'ts come. And my second one is
Right.
beware of people that have $1 million dreams, but a $5 attitude and a $2 work ethic.
Hmm.
Damn.
It goes to that business part. It goes to
Oh
that
my
business of marriage.
God.
It all ties
Ooh.
together.
Tell them how you really feel.
But I have a group, y'all, on Facebook. It's called the Hubbles Romantics Club 2.0. I started this thing way back in 2015. It got kind of big too fast, so I had to shutter it down. And I decided to start it over because I'm a passionate about love.
Hmm.
Too many of us have let the ugly part of love stop us from seeing the beautiful part of it. And
Hmm.
this group is a safe zone, a judgment-free zone. So you can come in there. We can talk about. You can post questions. You can talk about anything you feel comfortable about. The whole thing is getting you to help you work through your issues.
Hmm.
We all got a story to tell. We all have a
Mm-hmm.
testimony to tell, and it's important. I think we can help each other to heal if we are vulnerable enough to let somebody see what we've been through. You never know. You
Hmm.
can prevent somebody taking a life lesson they don't even need if you tell them your story.
Hmm.
And that's what it's for, is to reestablish people to love again, and not just in romantic way, but just love life, love yourself. And
Right.
that's what it's all for. It's all positive. If you meet somebody in there, cool, but this ain't the match.com going on, whatever. But if you find somebody in there, cool, but if the woman don't want you and she block your movements, then keep it moving. Don't call out her name. Don't call no hoes and bees because I ain't having that. You know what I'm saying? You do that,
I
you
know
out of
that's
here.
right. He got
First mess up, you
security in there
gone.
too, y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
He
You
got
gotta be
security.
mature over here. So I do a room every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we just do testimonies on Tuesdays. So check me out.
That's
Okay,
what's
okay.
up. I was trying to
That's
get in
what's
that room,
up.
y'all, but I really like it because sometimes we get in situations where you want to find people that are asking and responding and not ashamed to talk about the things that you want to talk about. And there's nothing wrong with interacting with a group of such so that you can get the information and the knowledge that you need that you're possibly always giving out to somebody. There's sometimes you want to
Mm-hmm.
be in a situation where you can soak it all in and look at different
Mm-hmm.
perspectives. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
intrigued by stuff like that because I like to study the mind, and I like
Me
to
too.
hear different opinions of others, and I think it's very interesting. And I know we are out of time, y'all, but I definitely appreciate you guys rocking with us tonight. And if you are new and you are this is your first time rocking with us, come back and join us every Wednesday night between the hours of 8 and 9 p.m. We are always here. We do have other shows. Tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you guys join in at 8 o'clock p.m. We have the Mamapreneur podcast. It's hosted by our other host. She's sometimes on here with us, and sometimes she's not. You may have seen her. Her name is Robin. So make sure that you guys tune in with her. She got some good stuff coming up. And of course, we got it's your girl J Money. She's here also on Thursdays, and she
Mm-hmm.
has a show coming up, and it's gonna be hot. Like she always tell y'all, y'all gotta put the kids to
The
bed
bed.
when she come
You
on
go to
because
bed.
that's definitely where they need to be. And of course, we have buying and selling with Bree on Monday nights. And if you're into buying a home, getting your credit right, that's definitely the show that you need to watch. So we have a lot of great stuff
Mm-hmm.
going on. So y'all know what we always say. We ain't gotta go home, but we definitely got to get the hell up out of here.
Right.
So it's been great. Thank y'all for rocking with us, and we will definitely see you guys next